Hello and welcome to the first episode of A Gentleman's Agreement.
Huzzah!
Thank you. I'm Sarah and this is my lovely co-host Ella.
Hello.
So we basically wanted just to start a podcast about some fun and interesting things that we find, film reviews, books, stuff on Netflix that did look shit but ended up being good. Stories, articles, conspiracies, that kind of thing.
Just basically late night sleepover chats, but as a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So this is our Halloween episode.
Yeah, spooky dooky.
So we thought we'd start off with a round of spooky would you rathers.
Yes.
And basically the whole kind of plot of our podcast is we're going to try find interesting things, tell each other about them, and get the other one to try and agree or disagree.
Mm-hmm. Like a debate.
Yeah, and have a gentleman's agreement about it.
Yeah, or a schoolboy's disagreement.
That would be awful.
Yes.
So Ella, would you like to give me yours?
Okay, so this first one is not really like technically spooky. Okay. It's more what I find terrifying, which is not normal.
No.
But so mine's to do with like the brain. So every time you store a new favorite memory, you get rid of one of your other favorite memories. So you can never have more of, like, say, let's 6 favorite memories.
Okay.
And they're constantly rotating and you can just never remember any of them. So say like your first kiss with your boyfriend, who I won't name because he might not want to be named.
I don't even remember it.
Poor guy. But so that would go if you got another great memory come in and you just never be able to remember it.
Okay. Or
you can't recognize people's faces. So everyone you know in your life, you can't recognize their faces. You can just recognize their voices or personalities. So if I walk,
like even my own mother,
even your own mother, yeah. So because you're with her a lot and she's talking and stuff, it wouldn't happen that often. But say if like she came home, you open the door, you'd just be like, yeah, who are you? Until they spoke.
Okay. Oh, that's hard though, but I was going to say, that's not that bad if it's just like speaking and mannerisms, because then you can just
pick
go
it up
to
straight
everyone
away.
and be like, hello.
Yeah.
But then...
Say if you walk into a party and like...
There'd be
just
constant awkward moments, wouldn't there? Because you'd just be like, oh, hi. Someone, they'd be like, you kissed my boyfriend last week or something. Like, you just would not have any idea what you...
Yeah, because it might not be... You might think your boyfriend isn't...
Oh, your boyfriend.
Isn't your boyfriend.
Oh. But then until he speaks.
But
then also I feel like that could get me into dangerous situations a lot.
Definitely. I think so. Because you could maybe say, even if someone has like a similar personality, you might get confused. So like if you met someone with a similar personality to me.
I love how you're trying to make this worse now. Yeah, so it's like... No, this is too obvious.
I always go on it.
Yeah, no, same. I always like... But then also...
Yeah, I build on it until it's like too hard to say.
Okay, so wait, do you want me to... I think I've made my decision.
Okay, what's your decision?
Too obvious. I would rather have the only 6 favourite memories.
Okay.
Because I suppose if you forget them, you wouldn't remember they were there anyway. So you wouldn't feel like you were losing anything.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, like, I don't have 6 happy memories anyway.
Yeah, I feel like my memory is awful anyway. So
yeah. No, I'll go with the 6. What would you do?
I think at first, because I hate losing memories, like the idea that I can't remember stuff really freaks me out.
Yeah, same.
Like I was thinking like our interrailing trip, if I could only remember even just 6 of those memories, I'd be sad. But at the same time, my memory is probably a lot shitter than I think it is. And it doesn't matter to me, if that makes sense. There's probably a lot of stuff I have forgotten and it doesn't bother me because I just have forgotten it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Is it only happy memories? Like, would you have all of your sad memories?
Yeah.
Oh, so that'd be quite depressing then, because you'd only literally have like, I've only been happy 6 times in my life, and then...
Exactly, yeah. You could be sad.
That could make you very, like, depressed.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that element.
Well, that was horrible.
But see, that's the spookiness in my mind.
Oh, very spooky there.
Yeah.
See, now I've gone down a completely different road with mine. Like,
I'm really like...
Mine's very year 6.
I'm intrigued.
Okay, so would you rather have Frankenstein bolts drilled into the side of your neck
and
have to keep them there all day? No painkillers.
All day forever?
No, just for one day.
Okay.
You just have to screw them in at 9 in the morning.
I'm trying to think of Frankenstein-sized bolts. They're pretty big.
They're quite big, yeah. Like, it's kind of dangerous. And like you have to have them like screwed in. That's going to be painful.
But would you never die? It would just be, even if you burst an artery.
You would die, but you'd be like really, really... It's going to be as painful as it can, but yeah, you won't die.
Okay.
We'll say that, yeah.
Okay, we'll just say I won't die.
Or permanently change your name to Count Dracula McNibblestein.
Yours is such a a different room to mine. Okay. Was it Saint Dracula?
Count Dracula McNibblestein.
McNibblestein.
And like you can't like shorten it to like Dra.
I just feel like you would never get a job.
That's what I was gonna say. The main thing is like jobs. No one would ever take you seriously.
Also, your wedding day.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like
your first name would be Count.
So it's not Count Dracula as the first name, it's Count middle name Dracula.
No, actually change that. It's Count Dracula as your full first name. But you can never drop the Count.
Okay.
And McNibblestein is your surname.
To be fair, I'm not like hating McNibblestein.
Yeah, I think it's quite a cute name.
Quite cute.
Sounds like, but that's why it's funny because it kind of counteracts the Count Dracula.
Count Dracula, yeah. I feel like the bolts thing I feel like you'd be damaged for a good 4 months after the original scar. Like, it wouldn't just be a day.
Yeah, no, like, you'd be in pain for a while,
yeah.
But, like...
And also the holes, would they ever go?
Yeah, they'd heal.
How long?
Dr.
Month. Sarah.
A month, exactly.
A month, exactly.
And you'll have, like, little scars, but, you know...
I like the idea of the little scars. I think that would be quite cool.
Yeah.
I think...
It's like agony or embarrassment.
Embarrassment. Also, that would hinder your whole existence. Like not getting a job.
Yeah.
And just, you would never be taken seriously.
No.
What if I met like a man?
Oh, but yeah, maybe you could, I'll give you that. You can change it with marriage. You can change the McNibblestein.
I'd still be Count Dracula.
So if you married, you know, Tom Hanks, you could be Count Dracula Hanks.
That in a way sounds worse than McNibblestein.
Like you've committed there with a stupid name.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
You have that option.
I think I'd do the bolts.
You do bolts?
I think so. Just because...
I think as soon as the bolts start going in, you change your mind and be like, Count Dracula.
Could I change my mind?
No. You have to commit to one of them.
Okay, I'm going to be Count Dracula. Because you've just...
I think you'd suit it. It's
cute. I think when you said the name, I just pictured myself in one of those capes.
Yeah. In my head as well, you're like 5.
Yeah.
Well,
I have one more.
Pardon?
I have one more.
You have another one?
I do have another one, but this is
prepared.
Yeah, so this one is tailored to you.
Oh.
So something that I think you would find particularly scary.
Okay.
So either your children are terrible. So they're
They will be anyway.
No, they're not like evil or racist or anything like that. They're just...
What are you trying to say?
I don't know what I'm
They're
trying
just,
to say.
what you mean, like, just little shits?
They're just little shits, yeah. They're, like, so annoying. And you love them, but you recognise how annoying they are.
Yeah.
Like, and you find them really annoying. You're like, fuck's sake. Like, every time they wake you up in the morning, you're like, I have to see them again. But you love them.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah, okay.
Or you have, like, the perfect family. So, like, perfect children, they're head boy and head girl. They're like Sarah herself.
Oh, yes.
And they, like, win competitions. They're, like, funny. They're not, like, over the top. They're not annoying. And you have the perfect husband, perfect life, but you are haunted by a demon forever, like, your whole family.
This is so easy.
What?
Like, this isn't a hard one at all.
This isn't hard.
Do I want to be haunted by a demon or have little shits that I'm probably going to have anyway?
No, but I would think you would rather have... The demon never kills you.
No, that is like worst thing I could possibly imagine is being haunted by a demon for life. Like, it's not even just a little period and then he kills me. I'm permanently terrified. And also, then your family would not be perfect if you're like constantly eating dinner
true.
and then, oh, mum, the demon's here again. You'd be like, oh, fuck. No. Definitely. And also, I don't even like the idea of perfect families. Like, I don't want to have 2 kids because I don't want your family basically because it's a girl and a boy and a mum and a dad, and that's just too perfect. I want there to be like an odd, awkward number. And they're going to be little shits, and I'd want them to be little shits.
But no, they're little shits, but in the perfect.
I hate them basically. You're trying to get me to.
Yeah, this is your idea of a perfect family. It's not like.
Oh, okay.
It's not like typically perfect. It's your idea, and then the other one is your idea of the worst kind of children, like the ones you'd. So in your
be most annoying.
Yeah, so that they're always writing songs and performing them
to
you.
new poem.
Yeah, that would be your idea of really annoying, and that's what they'd be.
I still gonna go with
The demon's okay.
No, don't try and make it better. There's no way I would ever choose
The demon. I know.
over.
You're so funny about demons.
Yeah, well, who isn't? Like, I would rather, I'd rather have the little shits and that really annoying and, you know, Mommy, I want to go drama school.
Yeah. Okay.
Than
the demons.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you still love
would you go for demon? But then that's because you don't believe in demons.
I don't believe in demons, so I would choose the demon. But then I suppose in this scenario, there is a demon. So
yeah, and it'd be like your personal demon.
So it would be the worst ever thing that I could think of.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think what that would be. A brain.
Yeah, no, I think you'd go with the demon anyway because you're like.
Because
but think about how scared you get at horror films and like.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, yeah, maybe. Okay, we agree.
Go for little shits.
I think we've agreed on all of them, haven't we?
A gentleman's agreement. Well, no, actually, I would have. Would I have changed my name to McNibblestein?
Oh yeah, what would you have done?
Oh God, I hadn't actually thought about what I was done. I was just thinking about what you would do.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for the bolts in the neck. I think.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, because it's not worth a lifetime.
To be fair, Count Dracula just wouldn't suit you as well as it would suit me.
I would not at all. I haven't got the face for it. But I'd rather have like a short period of pain. Well, it's not even that short as a day, but still, I'd rather have one day that's awful
than have your whole.
My life just being like, hello, welcome to this meeting. I'm Count Dracula. Like,
this whole podcast would be different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I will have a schoolboy's disagreement with that one on you.
Okay, but we've got 2 out of 3 agreements.
Yeah, that's a good start.
That's a good start.
Tell me about a film.
A film?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we both watched these films and then we were like, let's see what each other thinks. We haven't talked about it yet, so I'm interested to see your opinion.
Because we went and saw the first film, Mother, together.
Yeah.
And Sarah persuaded me to go because I'm not into like horror films or anything like that. It just stains my brain and I get too terrified. Mm. But I feel like we've had surprising opinions about it. Like we haven't spoken about it properly, but
I know you would have picked up on different things anyway.
Yeah.
But
because I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would.
Yeah, and I think I enjoyed it less because I thought it was going to be like a proper thriller, kind of stroke horror, like spooky. But then it kind of...
Yeah, it wasn't that spooky at all.
No, like I didn't go home and I was scared of it or anything. Like,
no.
That kind of film.
It was more like, because I was walking home and I was like, wow, that was so intense.
Yeah.
And I was
you feel like you're like... It feels like there's too much information and there's like too many ideas in the film. Like that's what I felt like the director was like trying to make so many points. And that's why I kind of felt like I was like, whoa, there's too much in this film.
That's true. It is a bit like overwhelming because I feel like there was, because I was mostly concentrating on the damaging the world kind of message, how it was like Mother Earth. And like when I was walking home, I was looking at the pavements, like, damn us for putting these pavements on Jennifer Lawrence.
Green grass on Jennifer Lawrence.
But yeah, like I liked it in that way because it was different. It actually like stayed with me. But it was a bit too over,
like cryptic.
Yeah,
like
yeah. And also if you didn't pick up on the message, you'd just be like, why won't the people just leave the house?
Yeah, like that's what I think you'd looked into it a little bit. I hadn't looked into anything, and then like our other friend that was with us, she'd like knew the whole idea behind it.
Yeah, and she'd really researched it.
Yeah, so like it made us all have different opinions, and I felt like I knew there was really opposing reviews. Like some people were like masterpiece, and some people were just like this film's shit.
Yeah, there was like booing at
Cannes or something.
Yeah.
Kansas.
Great
cans. But yeah, exactly. So I kind of was I came in like wanting to have like a really finite opinion, but I'm still in the middle of like, it was good. Like I like the whole like religious Adam and Eve, like the whole that following that storyline and the point about like, you know, global warming and like Mother Nature and all that stuff. But then a little part of me was also like, it was just annoying to watch some scenes.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. Like the parts when they were like jumping on the sink and she was like, get off the sink. And they're like, there's nothing wrong about this. And it is just frustrating.
Yeah, you're just like, get off. Like, but then that's good because it does make you have a real reaction, I suppose, because I was getting really frustrated with all these people.
Yeah, and that's like the intention.
Yeah, because basically if you haven't watched it, it's just like, this woman and this man are in this house. It's kind of like secluded, and she's doing it all up. And then like
it's like meant to be their kind of Eden.
Yeah, and he's a writer, and he's meant to be had kind of writer's block for a while, and then he kind of is working, and then these randomers come into the house and they kind of start
randomers. I love that. It's just a bunch of randomers.
And this one guy turns up and she's always really like, who's this guy? And then, and then the husband's really like welcoming and open, and he's like,
and they're obsessed more people with him.
Yeah, and everyone gets really obsessed with the husband, and she's kind of left out a bit.
Yeah,
and then it just becomes more and more people coming in, taking over, like getting her food, taking what they want from the house, and like ripping things off the wall, and she's just like, what the fuck, come on guys.
They literally start papering over like in the hallway, and she's like, stop doing this, and they're just like, what? They're like shrugging. It's kind of funny because that's the thing, I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was. Those
bits were funny when there was just people being like, why can't we do this? Like,
it was when she was in the toilet and so this old man comes in and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, just exploring. So they're just so blasé about it, and she's the only one in the whole film who's getting frustrated, and it feels like everyone's just against her.
Yeah, like I did think that. I also it made me think again, like, I don't think this with every film. I really like Jennifer Lawrence, but I'm always like, is she really good, or is she just like really bigged up? I don't know if she's a good actor or not.
That's because I've had that with a lot of other films. Because I do really like her, but I have felt like just because she's so loved, you always like, I always look for
the good, because I like her personality or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But I did this film for sure. I really liked her in. I think this was the best performance I've ever seen her do, because it wasn't her usual ballsy like woman performance. It was like more of a submissive character. So it felt a lot more like she was acting. I don't know.
True, but I also, I know what you mean, because like she's normally playing like a hero, but I also found like she always does the same scream. I've said this to you before. Like, she
and
always has the same,
like,
and scream. And so like every time she does that scream, it just links me back to like all the other characters where she's screamed.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like,
so in like Hunger Games, you're just picturing her doing the same thing.
The same scream, and it's like the same kind of reaction in a way. And I know there's not so many ways you could scream, but like, I was like, oh, she's screaming again.
Do you think that's because she's everywhere at the moment? Like,
yeah, probably, because she's been in like back-to-back films for ages.
So many things.
And she's always in like really good films that you want to go see.
Yeah. And she's always in distress. Like, that's her thing.
She's always having shit things happen to her in films.
She really is. But especially in this film, like when she's running down after her baby, there's another scene where her baby is being taken by this mob of people.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. And it's being like carried across the crowd, and it's like ridiculous. It's like a dark comedy, like with the pee spraying everywhere from the baby, and then the baby just dies and breaks its neck.
That's horrible. Yeah,
it's like, it is like, I felt like I don't know about you guys, but I was like watching the screen with like my mouth open.
Yeah, I think it's shocking because you don't expect to actually see it. Yeah. And apparently that's like, that part of the film made it really hard to get it produced and like made. Really? Because like a lot of the big companies were like, oh, we don't want to take this film on because
that baby
because like there's a baby head snap scene.
Which, such a specific scene.
The viewers aren't like asking for.
Yeah. It's not in demand.
Yeah. But so I think that's why in the end they went around funding it differently than I think most films, or something to do with that. But that was like shocking. But
yeah, and the bits when they are punched, because I've never seen a scene where it's just because of the movies I watch where a woman is literally on the ground getting beaten up by people, and like her top was like she looked very like vulnerable and like.
Yeah, the beating scene was quite like graphic. Like,
it was, yeah.
I think it's just the way the camera was as well. It was like you could, and her face was like bruising up straight away. Yeah. It looked more like the normal like scene.
Yeah.
But I think I watch more like beatings than you do.
More beatings than
at home.
Yeah.
Stop, Mum.
Is this going out in public, Sarah?
Sorry.
Sorry, Julia.
Yeah. I really liked her hair, actually. I know it was a really unimportant note, but like I've been wanting to like
that's so true.
Have like the messy hairdo that she had.
The cascading long hair.
And like what she was wearing as well. Like
she was very elegant in the whole thing. I liked her in it.
Do you notice she never wore shoes?
Really? I never picked up on that.
And
did he wear shoes? Was that?
I think so, but you know, she's always plodding about barefoot, and obviously, like, she's Mother Nature. She's one with the earth.
And she was always wearing that one.
She was wearing that nightgown a lot.
Yeah.
But that apparently was her idea as well.
Really?
Yeah, I read that
I like
somewhere.
that she's involved in the...
I'll just not take my shoe. I'm like, big part, but...
I want to be barefoot.
It does make sense, to be fair.
No, it does. And to be fair, she was like creeping around a lot. And it probably made a big difference to her, to how we saw it, but I didn't even pick up on it. And like you said, how they never mentioned names.
Yeah, there was always...
I didn't even pick up on that.
Almost made it unrealistic, because there was times when she was shouting for him, and like you would just be like Tom, or something like that.
What was she saying?
Like there was times when she was like looking for him, or like running around the house to see if it was him and stuff, and they obviously were trying not to say the name, so she'd be going like, hello, like
I did notice a lot of hellos.
She says something else as well where she kind of is avoiding saying his name. Is like, and it's obvious that in that situation you would have just been like,
but they couldn't have said God.
Yeah, hey God, yeah, or they didn't want to put names on them.
Yeah,
but like once you notice it, you're like, oh, no one's saying anyone's name.
Yeah,
and it's unrealistic.
I'm glad I didn't notice it.
Yeah, true.
But I felt like, I didn't pick up on it, but I thought it was clever that they didn't do it.
Yeah, I also always think, you know, the main guy is played by Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
But I always think he would be like the best actor to play the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. He looks like the Beast.
Yeah.
And like, that's all I think whenever I see him now. It's just like...
That's so true, because he's so like hulking. Sexy. And sexy. I think he's sexy. I don't know. Although I didn't find him sexy in this.
No, it's something to do with like the way his face... It's quite a big like man face.
He seems like he has a deep soul, even though he probably doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Like... There's something about him, you're like, I feel like he's got loads of art raving in him.
Yeah, I imagine he like writes poems at home and stuff like that.
Just the way, because he's in like Vicky Cristina Barcelona, right?
Yeah, because he's married to Penelope Cruz.
Sorry, what was that?
Penelope Cruz. I've stole that joke from somewhere.
Who says that?
Penelope Cruz. She says her name really like, well, in Spanish, like Penelope Cruz. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, but he's married to her from that.
Oh, from that?
I think they met on that. I don't know.
I didn't even know they were married.
Yeah.
You're so on it with them.
For my celebrity gossip.
Yeah, you really
well,
are.
that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm just really not up to date.
Yeah. No, I just like looking up like who's married to who, Wikipediaing them.
You're like my dad.
Yeah.
You and my dad
are with the same person.
There was one thing that I was thinking. I don't know how true this is, but I was thinking about, you know how there's like this feminist idea to that film of like how it's like, the man is the creator and he's like using up all of her resources.
Yeah.
The woman's resources. And he's like a lot older than Jennifer Lawrence, like Javier, what's his second name? Bardem. It's funny that Jennifer Lawrence is now with the director who kind of drained her acting resources to get his creation of the film.
And he's older.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like, even though I know he's probably not taking advantage or anything. I'm not like outing him on this show.
If you're listening, Jennifer, do you need help?
But like, I think it's just quite interesting, like how that was what the film was about. And
they probably didn't even think that themselves, but I know what you mean. It's kind of like you can see the resemblance in a way.
Like in a lot of the interviews, she was like, "Oh, how do you say his name? Aronofsky.
Darren Aronofsky.
Like his work is so incredible, and I just like threw myself straight like into it, and it just seemed like it was his creation that she was like
being part of. Whereas like, I think he's just one of those directors who makes these kind of doesn't make that many films, but the ones he makes like these big kind of really like
innovative,
deep films like Black Swan and Requiem for a Dream. But they like kind of weird, spooky like films where he's obviously thought a lot about them.
Yeah, well, he was saying, I like listened to an interview with him, and he said that for like Black Swan, it took like, I don't know, like, how was it? 2 years? No, 10 years. It took 10 years to make Black Swan. But Aronofsky wrote the whole story of Mother in 5 days and just got the idea and just like bashed it out. And then it was only 2 years later that it was premiered. Like, so it was like one of his quickest films he's ever made. And it is just quite a simple concept.
idea.
Yeah, it's all shot in this one house.
Yeah, I think as well, like films, like obviously we don't know it, but like sometimes I like look them up and stuff, and a lot of them take like years to get picked up.
Yeah,
because like studios don't want to put money into something if they can't make money back and stuff. But I don't get that because I think Black Swan was so much better.
Yeah, I can't really remember Black Swan. I did like it. It was very good.
It was more like thrilling, more spooky. I mean, there wasn't so much of a message, but
it was because it was more like her going crazy, and you didn't know what was real and what was fake.
Like her losing her mind over like it all. But yeah, I felt like Mother was kind of like about possession, and it felt topical because there was almost like this idea of like immigration and like resources, global warming, like fame, and like the way they idolize God, like the way we kind of idolize people.
When everyone has their phones out and is like recording him, and it's like, and they all want a piece of the house. Yeah. There's that one line, isn't it, when he's like ripping off a piece of the wall, and Jennifer Lawrence goes like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you wrecking my house?" And he goes, "How I need to prove that I've been here." Make some sort of like impact. So it's kind of like what humans are doing to the world, like just thoughtlessly making an impact.
I also thought like that it's kind of relevant to like the actors themselves, especially like Jennifer Lawrence, because I've heard her make loads of comments before about like how she doesn't like, the press get like too much like in her business, and like she won't take selfies with people because then other fans like they'll upload it, and then other fans will like track her through it and find where she is. So they'll like upload like, just saw Jennifer Lawrence in Times Square, and then other people know she's in Times Square. And, like,
that's true. Actually, I've never seen any pictures of her with fans.
And then
like
apparently
selfies.
Some people get really annoyed, and like it is almost like she's saying like, oh, they obviously it's not her, but like people think because if someone's famous, they like own a piece of them and like deserve a bit of them, and like it's a bit like it's tight.
It really is, but I understand why people get like it's. I don't know. It's weird because I understand where that comes from because I've become like David Tennant in Doctor Who. I like loved him, and if I met him, I would feel like I deserved some sort of interaction with him, even though I don't, if that makes sense.
Because you've been like a loyal fan.
Yeah. And so then even though it's not true, so I understand it from both sides because obviously Jennifer Lawrence does not know any of these people, and she doesn't deserve to have like any of her life taken away from her because of fans. But it's hard to not think, like if I saw Jennifer Lawrence in the street, I would not go up to her and ask for a photo, but there'd be part of me that's like, I need to like...
I'd be taking like secret photos on my phone now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'd act really normal in the hope that she'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah, in that one moment.
She treats me so normal. We should be best friends.
Just like catch his eyes and just, that's it. You're together forever.
I actually, like, we would be friends. Yeah. I've said this a few times.
I know.
And I've been made fun of for it.
No, I remember when she first came on the scene and you were like, I'm so annoyed because I know we'd be best friends, or I would be like her if I was famous.
She stole my personality. No, don't be silly, Ella.
Sorry, I'm just making it all up.
Yeah. So if you were to give it out of 5 stars, how many stars would you give Mother?
Ooh.
Exclamation mark, Mother.
Exclamation mark, yeah. I saw something that the fact that there's an exclamation mark shows that it's meant to be like a bit of dark, like the intention was that it was meant to be humorous, like a bit humorous.
Oh.
Because it was like a bit over the top.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Like Mother.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I heard that somewhere.
How many stars?
Which makes sense. I'm like putting on because I don't know. So I think a 4.3.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
4.3?
Because it's so different to anything I've ever seen before. And I really enjoyed it.
Ooh. I was going to go with 2.5.
You're a harsh, I judged them.
I'm a harsh critic.
Yeah.
But I just was left unsatisfied and like frustrated.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I thought they could have done more with that idea and slightly differently.
That's true.
And there were some scenes I just wasn't enjoying. I felt like I was constantly waiting
for something else to happen. But I quite liked being in suspense the whole time. Like that's what I enjoyed about the film. Like, just for me, it really made an impact on me. So that's why I'm giving it such a high rating. Wow.
We'll have to see what you give the next film.
Oh my God, imagine.
Hocus Pocus. So obviously it's not new out. It was released in 1993. Yeah. But weirdly we found we both hadn't seen it despite it being a very famous like cult classic kind of film.
And it would be a film that we would have thought we'd watched.
Yeah, and also it's spooky Halloween.
Spooky theme. Was so thematic.
Yeah. It's wonderful this all came together so casually. But so what did you think of Hocus Pocus?
Well, when I first started watching it, I loved it because it was like that kind of cozy Halloween American vibe. You know what? It's like created to, the town seemed like a Polly Pocket world of like, I don't know. It just made me feel cozy.
Yeah.
But as a film, I just found it ridiculous. Like, I honestly thought I was going to love it, but it was so outlandish. And like, I thought it was really like sexually active.
I was going to say
for a young person film.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if it's one of those things where like if we watched it when we were like 10 or something, we would have loved it, and then it becomes a cult classic in your head and you always just love it.
Yeah.
But and like I thought if we watched it when we were 10, would a lot of these like remarks go over your head, but when you watch it when you're older, you're like, is this acceptable for children?
It's
like,
kind of when you watch SpongeBob now and you're like, wait, this is really funny, and I'm old, so you realize there's another like adult layer to it.
Yeah, which I think is always a good film because then like parents and children can enjoy it.
Yeah,
but like some of it wasn't even that like discreet.
No, Sarah Jessica Parker was just a horny witch.
That's what I was literally going to say. I wrote in my notes just like, Sarah Jessica Parker, sexual?
Yeah, it's way too sexual. She's turned on the whole time.
Yeah, and she looks really hot. Like I did think like
she looks the best I've ever seen her.
Yeah, like she was wearing this saucy little tight dress.
Yeah.
And like there's one bit where she's like reaching up and like it's like a 2-piece dress.
I feel like she was flirting with the kids.
Yeah, no, she was like getting weird, and like every man she saw, she'd just be like,
Yeah. Because she's one of the, I feel like
the
so
three
many
witches. People don't know the story. It's like 3 witches come back from
the dead.
Like, Salem time.
Also, they were hung. I was surprised by that. Like,
they would have been burned.
Yeah. But even that, like, for a kid's film, I think I would be scared that I'd be like, Mummy, what's a hanging?
Yeah, that's true. But do we see the hanging?
Yeah, you see them, like, you see their legs
dangling.
It's
quite. Is it a PG? I think it's a PG, the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, these witches come back and they're like trying to find. I can't even remember now.
So they're back for a day, and if they manage to, they have to get the energy of like 5 kids or whatever, all the children to try and stay forever, alive forever.
Ensure that they can carry on living.
Yeah,
so they're kind of running around, and it happens to be Halloween Eve night.
Yeah,
Eve. No, yeah,
the evening of Halloween.
Yeah, but like I think it makes me feel a little almost like our Halloweens in England are a little bit shit. Like, not necessarily. Like I always liked Halloween, but like they go really in America.
And it feels like a whole season is Halloween,
and like I think now in like Tesco's and supermarkets they try and make it a bit more like that. So like they put out like Halloween sweets like a couple weeks ago and stuff, and they start it all early, but like
it's not the same atmosphere.
People don't put pumpkins. People don't really like get sweets for trick-or-treaters or put up decorations.
I feel like the last couple of years not even that many kids have come to this house and trick-or-treated. It's sad.
We literally like never get any on ours. And then I remember a lot of times when I was younger, like going around houses and then they'd just be like, go away, or like not answer the door.
Seriously?
And have like, they'd have like notes up and stuff being like, don't knock on the door.
We have that actually on our road. We have about 10 houses where they're like, we're an old person, don't trick or treat. And I'm like, it's just little kids.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it can be scary, but just like look out the window first.
Yeah, I feel like
4 big men who don't answer. Like,
England are just, I feel like they're spoil sports with Halloween.
Yeah, but
a
like,
little bit.
Also, I don't know if it's just for a film, so they've gone more in, but
and also it's just our idea of what Halloween is like. Although I went to, I think I was in, it was either California or Florida when it was like Halloween time around, and we drove through this town, and it was like the kind of houses that were in Hocus Pocus, and they had all the pumpkins out, and I did think this is like going into a movie set, and I wish Halloween was like this.
Yeah, that's
in
cute.
England. Yeah, it's cute. It's like cozy and like
and it's nice that they've like done it for the kids.
Yeah, it's like changing the whole world for like Halloween time for the kids. Yeah,
it's nice. But yeah, I felt there was too much screeching in the film in general. The witch that just started to irritate me. The
No.
witch has been like, after
they
every
were.
line, and I was just a bit like,
There was one really dopey witch which I loved, but the other two I found
is that
really
the one
annoying.
that constantly talks out the side of her mouth?
Yeah.
She's like, I can smell kids, like out the side of her mouth.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
And she like, there's one bit where the main witch, Liza Minnelli, is it Liza Minnelli?
Bette Midler. Oh my God, Liza Minnelli, no. They're like the opposite looking people.
I
Liza
know.
Minnelli's like a short woman with
I feel like they're both
black
like gay
hair.
icons, aren't they? And like theatre.
Yeah, they're like theatre
Yeah.
women. I'll give you that, but really,
No, they're not the same.
massive faux pas.
Okay, Bette Midler.
Yeah, so the main one.
So she's talking, and then this dopey witch next to her is constantly. So she's going like, "So we have to go get the children." She's just going, "We have to go get the children." Like after
Yeah.
a second after, and I found that really funny for some reason.
Funny?
Yeah, I really liked her dopiness, but I think that
was-
was my favorite thing of the whole film.
I was trying to remember what she's on because I was like, is she the? No, she's not. I was gonna say, is she the nurse in like the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet?
Oh, maybe.
She's in something big. Like she's one of those actresses that she's like, you don't know her name, but she's in loads of films. But I can't remember what else she's in. But
I didn't even realize it was Liza Minnelli, Bette Midler, but like
do you know who Bette Midler is?
I know that she's an icon, but I've never seen her in anything. I don't think.
Yeah,
No.
I only know that because like
I get Cher, Bette Midler, and Liza Minnelli very mixed up.
they're like literally, if you line them up, they're completely different looking women. Like I think Cher's like 6 foot, and they're like,
Really?
no, I don't know.
That's a complete
But she's like a
guess.
tall, statuesque woman, and then there's like Liza Minnelli's like a little woman with like a short pixie cut, and she like does a lot of like cabaret
And
dancing.
she's blonde.
Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
No, she's like
No.
dark black hair.
No, she has Oh, she was in Arrested Development, and she has the thing where you get really dizzy.
I haven't watched Arrested
I'm
Development.
going off on a complete.
I'm also
tangent.
now you're making me doubt myself. Like, is this Liza Minnelli I'm thinking of?
No,
Like,
no, I think it is Bette Midler. I don't think it's Liza Minnelli.
no, I know it is Bette Midler, but I'm just trying to think, what does Liza Minnelli look like now? I think
Because Liza Minnelli and Cher both have very striking faces.
yeah, I can understand the confusion of them because they're
Yeah.
both like dark hair, like strange looking
Singers,
singers. Yeah,
tap dancers.
yeah,
Yeah.
but, yeah. The other.
Okay,
yeah,
so she was that witch, the main witch.
yeah.
She was the leader witch,
The leader
basically.
witch.
Yeah, I just found it was a comforting film because it was just like creating this fantasy world where everything was just not nice, but like, I don't know, it was like sweet American Halloween vibe.
like a little adventure film.
Yeah. Oh, but also the weird segments that we're talking about, the sexual bits.
Yeah,
Like when
It could
Max,
be the younger sister.
the younger sister, says about Max loves Yabos.
Yeah, that was literally. I was thinking that. I was like, like straight away she's like, yeah, like makes a boob comment to the
boob comment about this
brother's
girl
crush.
who she'd just met.
Yeah.
Like imagine if I can't even imagine.
I met your little brother and he made a comment like,
Yeah. Oh,
when he was 10.
Yeah, I love Yabos.
That's
Also,
like,
weird
what
name
the-
for boobs.
Yeah.
Yabos.
Maybe it's because it's like Disney film. But even so, why was there
Why?
needed a boob comment?
There didn't need to be a boob comment.
Yeah, like that was ridiculous. And also there's another time when she makes a comment about her brother being a virgin.
Yeah, all the time. The whole film is
Yeah.
about how he's the virgin.
Yeah, because it's like I think it's like a virgin can like awaken them
Yeah.
or something, or like virgin blood. It's always something to do with virgin.
Was it virgin blood or was it virgin tears or something?
Something like that. But
Yeah.
like she's just like, oh great, you're virgin, you wanted this. And I was like, you're 10. Not only should you know he's a virgin
Yeah.
or not, you shouldn't even know what that means.
No.
Like,
Oh, you shouldn't be pissed off that he's a
yeah,
virgin.
like, oh, you silly virgin. Like implying that she's not.
Yeah, no, she was. She loves Yabos.
Yeah. I found her creepy.
And they keep going, oh, the virgin lit the damn candle.
Yeah.
So why did he have to be this virgin?
Yeah, like he was constantly getting parred off by his little baby sister.
I
Like,
felt sorry for him. He had a rough job. Like when he goes over and he gives he goes in class, like there's a huge moment in class, and at the end he just goes up and goes, here's my number, or something like that. What's he says?
oh, what? That's in the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
right at the beginning.
teacher tells him off, and then like for not believing in like the stories of the town.
Yeah.
and then he kind of just gets up and like hands this girl a number in front of everyone. I was
And it
just
was
like,
really out of the blue.
yeah, I was like, that's very cocky.
Yeah, very cocky. It was strange.
I would not find that appealing.
No, but then she hands it back to him.
Yeah, I was like,
the way back. So
well
I like
played.
the sass.
Actually, I remember reading that it is the first Disney film to mention virginity.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which,
maybe
I don't feel like any of the films need to mention it. But I suppose like those kind of so much like virginity is mentioned all the time in like film and TV and anything to do with like spooky horrors or like witches.
There's something spooky about being a virgin, apparently.
No, it's more like they're pure, so their blood is like good for like incantations and stuff. Like spells.
But what I didn't understand is, would sex affect your blood? Does it?
Well, if you catch something, I don't know. But I don't know. I'm not a witch, but like, there's always stuff like that about it, isn't there? I suppose it's a massive thing in the old days, like whether someone was a virgin or not, because then that like
there was purity.
And then like that legitimizes your bloodline. You can be like, this baby definitely is mine because
I was a virgin before.
She was a virgin, so.
But now it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, something to do with that. I remember learning that once.
Yeah. The thing is that I felt that it was weird because I thought it was going to be fun gal pal witches. Like, that was my whole idea, like a Sabrina the Teenage Witch kind of thing. That's what I was expecting.
I was going to mention Sabrina.
Were you?
Yeah, because who was your favourite character in the whole film?
Was it the cat?
My favourite character was the cat, hands down, because he reminds me of Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I found it weird how friendly the little girl in Salem gets.
Yeah.
They kind of have a romance.
And
not like Salem, the fake cat.
Yeah, what's his name? It's like some like little medieval name. Like,
is it Muam or something?
Nathaniel or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But I love the crap animatronics on him. I love that, like is it like 1993? Like he's kind of stop motion a little bit. He's obviously like a toy, but like his voice as well. The fact he's like ye old English speaking, like come along, children. Like
no, he's cute. He is actually he's
kind
the
of
best. He's the hottest cat I've ever seen.
Yeah, but they were so funny. Like, boys.
He was hot before he was a cat, but mostly as a cat.
He was a 4 out of 10, and then he turned into a cat, and then he was a pure 9 out of 10.
Pure virgin 9 out of 10. I just found that I hated how they smelt children, and they walk together in unison, and they have their mouths really open wide, and it's just, they're creepy witches. Yeah.
Apparently, I actually read that Sarah Jessica Parker like looked up her own relative line, and she had a relative that was charged with witchcraft.
Wow,
really? I know, like she did one of those like, who do you think you are? Those programs.
What, like an actual program?
Actually, I don't know if she even did a program or just looked into it. I'm just making things up.
Yeah.
But I know that, so apparently one of her family members was charged with witchcraft. That's quite interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And I was like, and then she played a witch. But, and the main guy, the boy, Max, he went on just to be like a hairdresser.
Really?
Like, I thought it was so funny that he's in like a massive, big, that was such a big film.
Like
as well.
The fact that we're watching it today.
Yeah, like, and it's still like really big Disney film. And then after that, I think he did a few other things, but now he's a hairdresser in like.
It's like Matilda.
Yeah, like Matilda. What's she now?
Well, she did a whole interesting article actually for The Independent about how
being a child star.
Yeah, and she like wanted to carry on being an actress, but when she went through a really awkward stage of going through puberty, of like getting boobs, getting yabos.
Yeah, big old yabos.
Big old yabos. And like how, because she wasn't considered attractive enough, she wasn't a cute kid anymore.
Yeah.
But she wasn't attractive enough to get hired, and how it just had like a huge effect on her like self-esteem.
Yeah. I read the same thing, and I was like, I did feel it's bad, but she did go from like this really cute kid to then just being like that awkward, like when you're like 12 to 15, like, and you got braces and you're a bit awkward.
Yeah.
And then she didn't turn into like the hot girl after as well. She was just like a normal,
exactly.
Like she was pretty, but like she wasn't kind of typical hot.
Yeah.
So she didn't get any roles after that.
She was saying how she met like her and Scarlett Johansson went to like an audition together, and she obviously got it. Scarlett Johansson got the job, and then went on to be a humongous star.
Yeah.
And like I thought it was just weird that this like whole two timelines of like Matilda just being like shunned, and then Scarlett Johansson, who's clearly like just more attractive, becoming on to be a star.
But then you could say like that's almost saying that Scarlett Johansson's only successful because she's
No,
hot.
yeah,
But, like,
that's true.
she is hot. She's got great yabbos.
Yeah,
But,
she's got the best yabbos around.
but like, it probably was part of it, like,
Yeah.
undoubtedly. But, like, even if Matilda had got that role,
She might
not
been
have
that
then
great,
had
yeah.
the other roles to, like,
That's
get to
true.
the level of success. But
Yeah, that's very
yeah,
true.
no.
It's just sad because I didn't realise that she'd tried to be like...
Yeah, that's kind of, I thought she'd, like, was like, oh no, I'm actually really smart and I'm going to pursue some other kind of...
Yeah, I just thought
being
she
a
was like
doctor or
reading
something.
books.
Yeah.
And, yeah, enjoy
Just being Matilda.
Yeah, being the actual Matilda.
I think the main girl in Hocus Pocus was in a lot of stuff.
Was she?
I don't know if it's true, but I think she might be the girl in American Beauty. I'm not sure. But
I've
she went
never
on to
seen
do
that.
like quite... I think she's done all right from it.
Oh, that's good.
But,
She
good
was a
for
very
her.
confident kid.
Yeah, she was overconfident.
Yeah.
I always find it weird as well when little kids in films do things like kiss or like...
Did she
say,
kiss?
No, but like say like a sexual comment or
Yeah.
something like that. Because I'm thinking like they're getting their like education from these like having to play a role. Like
Yeah.
in a film, Dakota Fanning, she had her first kiss on camera, and I remember like thinking like she was like 4, like she just looked tiny and like young, and I was just like, is it right to force like a little kid to be like
No.
necking an older? Well, he was like 2 years old or something, but he's still like kissing an older boy on camera, and I was
Kinda,
like,
it feels a bit perverse, like
Yeah,
your
like-
first kiss with like everyone watching.
yeah, and I was like, that's it. Almost, I find it weird to be like they're like, do they know what they're saying when they're
Yeah.
saying these lines and stuff?
Like if you think about in Kick-Ass, Hit Girl,
yeah,
what's her name? Chloe Moretz.
yeah,
Her
Chloe
like
Grace Moretz.
Chloe Grace Moretz. She couldn't go see the film that she was in because of all the swearing. Like she calls people a cunt.
What? And she wasn't old enough to see it.
She wasn't old enough. She was like 12.
I
and it
thought
was
they
a
would have made like
15.
an exception of like,
I think they probably
you
did.
said half those swear
Yeah.
words. Like,
I think they did let her, but like legally she wasn't allowed to.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
She was good in that.
And it also, Jennifer Lawrence, I don't know how old she was when she had to do that. She was like, did a rape scene, didn't
What?
she, for one of her first films?
Winter's Bone.
No, one before that. Like, she,
Beaver something.
maybe something like that. She, maybe Beaver.
It was like Beaver Home. I don't know.
Yeah, she had to, they had to simulate rape on her. And because she was under 18, at least, her mum had to come and watch the scene be done legally.
Ooh.
Like how, it's just such a weird, concept.
Yeah, that is a bit fun.
Yeah.
How did we get onto this anyway? We were talking.
I
About,
don't
how did we
even
get onto
know.
Matilda?
Yeah, I really don't know how we got there.
But yeah, what would you give it then?
I would give it a 1.5, I think.
What?
As a film.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 1.8.
I would give it a 2.5.
A 2.5!
I felt like I seen the same film as no, joke.
So wait, so the Mother, what did you give Mother?
2.5. No, okay, no, I'll give it a 2. I'll give Hocus Pocus a 2. But I can imagine a lot of people being like, what? It's an amazing film, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just... I found it a little bit of like a chore. It was something I put on and have in the background. I would be sat watching it.
I found
like,
it an effort
yeah,
to watch.
I also found it reminded me of Stardust, which is a great film.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It
Like-
has that similar kind of...
It's witches coming back and like trying to get their youth back through children.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
no,
what
not
it is.
children, through like young beauties, and there's probably a virgin thing to do with that as well. And they're like, it's Michelle Pfeiffer like trying to like suck the life out of that angel.
Oh, yeah, no, I
It's like a
saw this
similar
in, like,
plot.
when I was 11, but yeah,
Yeah.
I remember now
That
you're
was a
saying
really
it.
good film. I love that film.
Yeah, that was a great film.
Yeah.
That's what this film should have been like.
Yeah. Because
But
that was still like a kind of kids film, but
yeah.
yeah. So I'll go with 2.
There was also just purely for the last line of the film,
Mhm.
I'll give it 1.8.
What was the last line?
I had to wait 300 years for a virgin to light a candle from the cat man because he finally goes to heaven.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's
Yeah.
a good line, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to bump it up to 2.5 again.
Okay. I can't believe you're putting it equal with Mother.
No, I know, but still, I don't know. They're in different ways.
Yeah.
That's the thing I think with films. You
We're
can't really...
just doing it on enjoyment, really.
Yeah, like
Pure enjoyment. So
how good it was to entertain kind of thing,
yeah,
rather
for
than
us. Yeah.
actually being an amazing, Oscar winner.
Oscar winning thing.
I was thinking that, like, would they have put Mother forward now? It's like, that can be because normally they put films out later in the year if they're going to put them up for Oscars.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it will be so far before the Oscar period, won't it?
Actually, we're not Oscar. I think they're in like January and stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I was thinking, are they going to nominate her? I'm a bit sick of seeing her getting nominated.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
Because like some films she deserved it.
I thought she does for this one. Like, she deserves a nomination.
Yeah, but what was the there's one film where she got nominated and I was like, what?
Which one was that?
American Hustle, she's like barely in.
Oh,
she's there for a few scenes and she's just like, hey, where's my nail polish? Like with a weird, like,
she didn't win for that one though, did she?
She didn't know, she didn't deserve to, but
that was more. I've seen the clips that they put on the like award show reel,
like real kind of
and
thing.
It is just her screeching and like.
Yeah.
But I do like her. I like her as an actress. I can't deny.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for her to be like there be a film. I was like, yeah, you deserve it for that.
Everything,
really.
yeah.
Like Natalie Portman in Black Swan. I was like, yeah, she deserves that one. Like she should get it.
Anne Hathaway and Les Mis.
No, I didn't want Anne to win. No,
really?
I'm like, just because you shaved your head and you sang a song, she was barely in the whole film.
I find that scene really emotional.
She actually did shave her head in that as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, so I'm like, but.
And that speech she did at the Oscars was why, you know, there's like Anne Hathaway haters, like people really don't like her.
No.
There's this whole thing of people find her really annoying and smug.
She does come across a little bit smug sometimes, but
she does come across that way. But apparently she did a recent article recently talking about the Oscars speech, because that was why people had this opinion. Apparently her speech came across really smug.
I watched it, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember what she said in it, but she said that she was in a dark place after getting into her character in Les Mis, and so she just felt really like stunned on stage, and that's why she came across weird. But I don't know, that could be an excuse. It's like, why would that make you smug?
Yeah, like you just be more like, oh, thank you, and then walk up like, I don't know. I loved her in Princess Diaries, but.
I think of her as a different person in Princess Diaries to anything else I've ever seen. Yeah.
But have you got a conspiracy thought?
Oh, okay. I'm excited for these.
So we've disagreed on both the films.
Yeah, we really have.
Because for some reason Ella doesn't like Hocus Pocus. Let's be fair.
It was just, I love films like that, and it just didn't do it for me. Like, I found it ridiculous and funny at times. Like, I'm glad it exists, but it was just an effort to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree it's not great film.
No.
Like, but it was enjoyable, I suppose. So do you want to go first with your conspiracy?
Yes. So I've written down like
how many?
4.
That's a lot of writing.
I know. But I'm like, I don't know which ones to talk about. I think I'll do this one first because it's not it's spooky, but it's not like real it's not a real conspiracy theory, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's to do with Willy Wonka, and the story of Willy Wonka being the children's version of Saw.
Interesting.
Yes. And I just found it, because I've always found the film very creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Willy Wonka, yeah.
Like the original, I think, as well, feels really creepy when you watch it.
Exactly. And so this whole idea is that the writer, Roald Dahl, was intending to make it Willy Wonka be a prophylactic. No. You said that so like, oh, that's what we're all thinking.
You went I was like, pedo.
And he said it's a prolific child murderer.
Ah.
So he like uses what these children weaknesses are to entice them into his factory or entice them into his traps, basically. So like Augustus Gloop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's fat.
Because he's fat. He needs the chocolate river.
Yeah.
And why was the tube human-sized? They were like, oh no, he's going to get sucked up that chocolate river tube. It was human-sized. Like usually you would think a chocolate tube only needs to be thin.
Yeah, but you want to get all that chocolate out like fast. But it did seem like perfectly sized for like
him.
Just big enough for this like fat boy.
Exactly.
But like, oh no, just a little too tight at the top.
It seemed designed, you know.
I prefer Augustus Gloop in the Johnny Depp new version than, is it Augustus Gloop?
Yeah,
Gloop?
I think it is Gloop.
But I prefer him in the Johnny Depp one than in the first one.
I know, I can't really picture him in the first one, but I loved him.
I think he's got like longer hair, but yeah. But
oh, I can picture him.
Yeah.
He's very like, I get him mixed up with the cake kid in Matilda.
Brucey!
Yeah.
You can do it, Bruce!
We're talking about Matilda a lot on this episode.
Yeah, sorry, carry on. So yeah, that's...
So it's like an endless cycle of tempting the children into his factory. Although I know it's like he kind of makes it seem very secretive. So that people are like an exclusive, so that people really want to go in and see this factory. And also on the way in, they make the children sign a waiver that makes the factory unaccountable for anything that happens to them, but none of the adults have to sign it, which is very suspicious, I think.
Continue. You've got me enticed.
Yes, I like this. And why does the gum have a side effect that turns you into fruit? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, it's not a side effect, because the recipe wasn't complete yet.
That's what he says, but why invite the children in on that day?
Well, they're not meant to have eaten the chewing gum. Like, he specifically said, like, don't eat this chewing gum, but then he probably knew that the kids would want it.
Or why were all the kids, like, the ones that couldn't say no?
Well, because they're brats, most of them, because they get things because of, you know, being like little brats. That's how they got the tickets for most of it.
And like how Veruca Salt, he knows that she's going to want the one thing that no one has, like what is it?
Yeah.
One of the golden eggs. One of the ducks that lay the golden eggs. A duck? Is it the goose?
Geese? I don't know.
But
they change it in the second one, don't they? The way she dies.
I think they do, but I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. I suppose, yeah, you could say that, or you could say it's the kids themselves getting themselves in. Yeah.
That's true, because it is like, it's a lesson of that you can't say no when you don't have, like, you're too greedy. The kids are too greedy, and so that's why they're punished in a way.
Yeah.
But it just feels like the contraptions are
almost too perfect. Like,
too
the chewing gum
planned.
for the girl who loves chewing gum and like, it's not ready yet, so don't have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like how the Oompa Loompas, they have that song and they always sing at the end, and it's like after Gloopy's little gloop. It's like he goes, eating as much as an elephant eats. What do you think will come of that? What are you at, getting terribly fat? And it's like they've planned this song. They predicted that this is going to happen, and they're like cheerily singing about his death.
There's no way that they would know the words, all of them.
No, how could all these little Oompa Loompas come up with such a song perfectly on the moment of his death?
Yeah, that is, I've never thought of that, and now I'm even more enticed.
I'm so glad.
Carry on.
And also, there was one other point that at the end, there's a theory that Charlie is actually, Willy Wonka kills Charlie at the end because Charlie figures out what's happening and kills himself, and that's why they both go up in the glass elevator.
Oh.
So it's like a metaphor of like, because Willy Wonka, like, he's fucking crazy. Like, he's a madman.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him, but this theory...
I like this child killer.
I like this child killer. But this theory, it makes sense to me.
So the theory is that, like, this is what Roald Dahl was, like, trying to, like, secretly do.
Or maybe not that, but all that he was one. It's just like, you know how people...
Roald Dahl was. He enticed children with his books. Yeah.
No, that Willy Wonka... Maybe it wasn't Roald Dahl's intention, but, like, it comes across like this could be what Willy Wonka was doing. If you put the fictional world into, like, a real sense.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, because it's like, why... Oh, he's looking for, the next leader of his factory, isn't he?
That's true.
I was going to say, like, why do it in the first place?
Yeah.
But, like...
But why need to kill the kids?
Do they die?
I mean, she
Do you
goes
see
to...
them again?
When Veruca Salt goes on the little podium, she goes to, like, the furnace. Yeah. So I feel like, how do you survive that?
Augustus would probably have drowned in the chocolate.
Yeah, 100%.
They do manage to deflate the chewing gum girl, though, don't they?
Do they? Do they take her to a...
Or the juicer.
Wouldn't her skin just be very... It'd like be
She's
a long
as
sheet
good
around.
as dead now.
Yeah.
And there's one other kid. Oh, Mike TV.
He gets stuck in the TV.
Yeah, dead again.
Yeah, and it's his TV. His surname is TV. And it's to do with a technical thing. Like, each room they go to...
Oh, happens to be really specified toward... There was no room specified towards Charlie. That is why he lived. But then, what would his room have been? Like, old people in a bed?
Oh, no, wait, there was the fizzy lifting drinks. And that almost kills him and his granddad because they're floating up and they're getting up to the fan.
Top of the
But they realise to burp and they come down. And Willy Wonka knows that it's happened at the end. He goes, "You've had fizzy lifting drinks. You get nothing." And like it's like he knows what's happening all the time.
Yeah.
And he knows they would have died if they hadn't figured out to burp. So maybe he thought maybe all of them would die.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
theory.
Do you see it? I was blown away.
Yeah.
I mean...
I like how like niche. Like, I was not expecting Willy Wonka.
No, yeah. I thought because it's spooky, but it's a well-known story.
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've got a few, but I'll just give a quick... Basically, I looked into these... Basically, I'll just outline these other two ones I looked into just to show that I looked into them. And then do you want to give me one after that?
Yeah. Well, mine feels, again, vastly different to yours. Mine's like, we swapped around and mine's quite dark now. And yours is like more like cute.
Cutesy
And that's
ones.
that one, I think.
I thought this was going to be really juicy.
Yeah.
But it just turns out I think this guy is just an addict.
Yeah.
And that's what... Basically, there's this guy, Max Spears, who was like a prominent, or not even that prominent, but he was like a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And he believed he was a super child or something, like one of the super children. And that he'd been like... a super soldier. He'd been altered as a fetus and controlled to fight in other dimensions, is what he believed. And so he became prominent in the news because when he went to Poland, he mysteriously died in Warsaw on a sofa. And the weird thing is there was a post-mortem and they couldn't find a cause of death. There was black liquid, about 2 liters of it was thrown up the night before while he was dying. And it was black liquid all over his body. And he also had a kind of triangle symbol on his forehead, which his mother took a photo of when she saw the body. But they didn't write about that in the post-mortem. So it's quite...
like burned into his head.
I couldn't really tell. They just kind of said it was like a mark, like a dark mark that wouldn't come off.
Yeah.
So,
and triangles are very
triangles
conspiratory.
Yeah, I mean the Illuminati, yeah, all of that. But yeah, I feel like after researching it, he seemed like he'd become an addict after he'd hurt his back or spine, and he started to get addicted. He did it in America, and they gave him really strong prescription meds, and then he got addicted to drugs from that. And he went like in and like relapsing at different times. And there's like an interview a couple of days before he died where he's clearly like mumbling and like
slurring
on something. He's on something basically in the video. And so I think he probably relapsed and it was an odd death of an overdose.
But then that would surely just come up in the post-mortem. Like...
That's the thing that's suspicious. Like that's the thing that keeps me intrigued of like, why isn't it certain why he died?
Yeah.
Because there was he was staying with his like girlfriend or perceived girlfriend at the time. Like I think she thought he was his girlfriend, but he didn't think she was.
Oh.
Another thing.
Standard.
Yeah, standard. Fuck boys out there. And
I hate boys.
And there was an email found from her messaging a psychiatrist they know saying that we need you to come here, like he's in a really dark place, we're really worried about him. And she never got to him, but it's quite weird how they knew he was in a really weird place and then he died on the sofa
very mysteriously with a triangle on his head.
Yeah. And the
then,
black liquid could be, I don't know, 2 liters seems like a lot. I don't know.
The whole I mean, the fact that he's a like conspirator himself makes me think,
Yeah.
But then also I'm like, oh, that might be why this thing happened to him, because he goes looking into these dark stuff and, you know, who knows what he found.
Yeah.
But then also it does make me think, oh, he's on drugs and he's obviously obsessed with these theories and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's probably just driven himself mad.
He's paranoid. Like,
and,
that's
like,
what it seems.
Made something.
He did, like, message his mum the day before and said something like, he said something like, watch out, your boy's in trouble, if anything happens, investigate. That's what he messaged 2 days before. But again, it's like a cycle, because it's like, is it paranoia? Is it real? Like, who knows?
Also, is he like just trying to become himself? Like he wanted, like, say he was depressed and he wanted to kill himself, but also then like, oh, I'm gonna make this a theory and I'm gonna become part of this whole world that he's obsessed with. So he's like, I'm gonna put a triangle on my head.
Yeah, exactly. It could be just him framing it and making it, if he's in such a dark place.
But then how do you kill yourself without leaving any post-mortem?
I don't understand. That's what's so mysterious. And also his laptop. The woman sent back his laptop to the mother, who was back in England, and it was completely wiped. Like, everything on it had been wiped. So she doesn't know if he'd wiped it or the woman wiped it.
So does the mum does she investigate?
So she was like on this like documentary about it, and she was talking about it, but she was like openly saying he had really, really bad anxiety throughout his whole life, and he had like a personality disorder and paranoid schizophrenia. So, I mean,
but still, it still comes back to that, like, but how did he kill himself without there being no obvious like?
And also there was like this end, like I saw something. It's like, basically whether it was in his mind or it was actually that he was doing some sort of digging into places he shouldn't be. It's like, maybe you shouldn't go digging in dark places inside yourself or in the real world, because it just doesn't end well.
Maybe he stumbled across something
he shouldn't know. It's a mystery.
There are some like poisons, I think, that can go undetected.
Yeah,
maybe. So somehow
maybe he did that.
Got given one of those,
maybe by the woman.
But wasn't there something about that guy? I don't know if you told me this, but like there was some voice or something that follows him, or like a ghost thing. Was that him?
What, this guy?
Yeah, there was like something where
someone I think went looking into this and went to go to Poland, and he said he saw, when he was staying in the same hotel or something. I read it very briefly, but he saw like he heard voices and saw a figure at the end of his bed, and he thought it was like some curse of getting involved in the Max Spears.
Because they thought it was him.
Appearing.
That is quite spooky.
Yeah. And then I'll just say this one quickly because I find it hilarious. And it terrifies me because it's all like, just the idea of the universe and like how we can't prove anything. And it's like, if you start questioning things,
does that say spooky. Dragons on your page?
No, I don't believe in dragons. It's last Thursdayism. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's the theory that the entire universe and all your memories were created last Thursday.
Oh, I have heard this.
Have you?
Wait, but no, carry on, because I can't remember it really. But
so it's a theory that can never be proven wrong, right?
Yeah.
Because all of the arguments are, but all the evidence that say, like, all of history, it was just created last Thursday. Yeah. So you can never fully argue it. So even like, it's like an idea of how our perception might not like match reality, which is a concept that I find terrifying.
Yeah, no, I don't.
In itself.
I try not to think about it.
I try not to think about it.
Thanks for bringing it up.
No, sorry. But yeah, it's something that spooks me out. Terrifies me.
Spooky.
And so this idea of last Thursdayism is a spooky idea for me, although it is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I already disagree with it.
No, I disagree with it.
I feel like there wasn't time to make all that evidence of the whole of history every Thursday.
No.
Because also, who's remaking it every Thursday? Is it our minds or something?
I don't know. There's one theory it's kind of to do with cats, and it's a cat god. I don't know. It must have been ridiculous.
Oh, of course.
It was like an idea that it was called the Queen Maeve, the house cat, is the god, and who on next Thursday, Judgment Day, will admit those who are nice cats to paradise and damn the unkind, uncaring to the never uncleaned eternal litter box. So this is like a cat version of this theory.
Okay.
So basically the universe was created on last Thursday and will expire the following Thursday. And that's what last Thursdayists believe.
So do they believe that every person only exists for a week, or does it just like your brain gets wiped clear every week and given this new reality?
I don't think they've thought that far.
They haven't really bothered with this theory.
No, they really haven't. And they think that the universe was created by us, ourselves, and that we can't remember this, but that it's a test for ourselves. So the universe we create is created by you as a test for yourself, and that you will be rewarded or punished when the universe expires based on what your actions were. And that left-handedness is a sin.
That's the thing. Like, I think they like not like throughout history. There's been something of like, oh, you're left-handed. That means you're like a devil worshipper or like a witch. Or something to do with like people didn't like left-handed people for a long time.
They love virgins. They hate the left-handed. And that everyone but you was placed here, pre-programmed to act as your test environment. And everyone but you knows this. So that's the last day Thursdayism theory. I don't believe in that one. No. I believe in the Willy Wonka one.
No, I believe in it.
I believe.
No, I was gonna say that's my favourite.
Yeah,
like the Max one sounds like too spooky, and I'll never know.
Yeah, well, no, it's a. I feel like we agree on all of these ones.
Yeah. Last Thursday, it's like funny, but like, it just feels almost like it just sounds like the whole grand scheme of like most kind of religions of like, oh, you got to do good and then you know you go to heaven, all that kind of thing. Yeah, but it's just they've decided to cut it into just a week.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, it was Thursday and Thursday, and you've got to prove yourself between this time, rather than giving us like a lifetime to do it.
A lifetime of I mean, there's like a razor to it, which is like when you can't not prove something. There's a razor which like makes it unreliable. Is that it requires too many assumptions. So like the fact that everything was created on Thursday as if it had been created for 600 billion years relies on way too many assumptions compared to it was just here for 600 billion years, you know?
Yeah, that's like a way easier explanation than Occam's razor.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
The simplest explanation is normally the right one.
The right one, yeah.
I think that's how you say it. Occam.
Occam's.
Something.
I like it.
But something's razor. When you're saying razor, I was like, do you mean like a razor blade?
But I kind of imagine it as a razor blade, like they're just taking away,
that's silly.
All those assumptions, yeah.
Wow, yours are very varied. I like them.
They're all a bit spooky in their own way.
I'll agree, best one was Willy Wonka, because I feel like even I disagreed on some bits, I still see the point there. Mm-hmm. And I can imagine it being almost like we were saying with the kids' films, there's also like often a like undercurrent to things of like a bit more adult,
a darker
and like dark
idea. Yeah, and it was definitely creepy as a film.
Yeah, it's always a bit strange.
Yeah,
I always want to know what happened to the kids like after
they died. Sarah, they were murdered.
They died. That is true.
Yeah,
could be true, I suppose.
But yeah, that's mine. I think we had a gentleman's agreement there.
Oh, we did.
Huzzah!
So mine is I've only got one. But, it's quite dark. But so basically there's a theory that this, funny way I said it earlier, Nazi, not Nazi.
Nazi.
I will probably say Nazi later. This like prominent Nazi, his name's Josef Mengele or Mengele. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Mengele.
I'm going to say Mengele.
Yeah.
But he was known like in history now as like the angel of death because he was like so dark. He was like one of the doctors that would like do a lot of tests on the kids in concentration camps, and I think he's the one who had like this obsession with twins. He did lots of tests on twins.
Oh god, that's creepy in itself.
I know, because it was so, like obviously they wanted to do to find out how to make more twins, because then obviously you know how at that time in Germany they wanted to like have more children and like have these really strong German like Aryan race.
That was
so they were like trying to find through these twins like how's the best way that we can make more twins.
Oh, wow.
So, like, if they find out how these twins are made, then we'll get everyone getting twins so there's more and more kids.
It's so weird because, like, now we want to cut down kids.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But obviously that was the guy. So he was, like, looking into that and he did loads of, like, horrible experiments and, like, it was really, like, fucked up and everything. But there's a conspiracy theory that this man went on to become 3 very famous murderers in the USA.
Which murderers?
So the Boston Strangler.
Okay.
Have you heard of him?
No.
He's a big one. Zodiac Killer. You got.
I recognise that. Yeah.
And the Anthrax attacker.
Who's the worst?
Are
they all equally bad?
They're all like different. They've all had their own little kind of different things.
They've all had their own.
There is an interest. Like, so I already know this is a very doubtful conspiracy. So Joseph was born in 1911.
Okay.
And then the anthrax attacks were carried out in 2001. So
He would be, what,
90 years old.
I mean,
But
it's possible.
the thing is, with the anthrax attacks, it was just someone was posting letters with like anthrax in them. So people would open them and like inhale it and they would die.
So he didn't have to be present.
Yeah, so he could have just been at the care home, really old, just like, post up. Obviously, Joseph was,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Joseph, I don't want to say the Mengele bit.
No, yeah.
But obviously he was fucked up and he's really dark, so he could easily be a lot of these other really messed up guys.
Yeah. Especially, like, say he's been in hiding that whole time. He might have found out who's dying and been like, fuck it, I'm going to have one last
go at it.
One last go.
But he, so he escaped to South America, like a few of the big Nazis, like, got away and
there's a theory
trial.
Hitler is...
Yeah, there's a theory that, like, because a few of them definitely did go to South America.
Really?
And, yeah, some people think Hitler, like, they were like, we've seen him.
Yeah.
But, and then there's, supposedly he drowned in 1979.
What, from escaping?
No, like, it didn't take him 30 years. He tried to swim from Germany. No, like, he just drowned in, like, an accident once in South America.
So
he'd
he
obviously,
was definitely alive at that point.
Like, so he obviously escaped in 1945, made it to South America, was living there for a bit, and then just carried on with his life, and then died in 1979 from, like, I don't know how he drowned, like, just went out for a swim.
A little surf.
Yeah.
Surf and turf.
But
I think it's plausible, like, already, because I think that person who's that deranged and that crazy couldn't just go and live a normal life in South America.
Like, just have a nice little holiday break and live there. Interestingly as well, the place where he was, like, thought to have meant to have, like, spent a lot of time, like the first place he was in South America, has, like, a really high level of twins.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, they have a, like, they call it, like, it's like the Twin City or something like that. I can't remember what it's called
Twin
now.
City.
But yeah, he so it's got, like, a stupid amount of twins.
He knew
ratio.
That. He
and
for
I'm like,
sure knew that.
He was the one who he figured it out, and he was like, hey, if you want to have twins.
He
blah,
went
blah,
around
blah.
and door to door.
It just seems a bit spooky.
It really does. That is spooky.
But yeah, so then the Boston Strangler was around in the 1960s.
Yeah.
And I actually looked up all the dates of the killings to see if they overlap, because I was like, okay, so if the Zodiac Killer was in California.
Yeah.
And the Boston Strangler was in Boston.
Boston.
Big shock. And I think, I don't want to be stupid, but I think they're opposite sides of the country, aren't they?
I mean, yeah.
I'm pretty sure what Boston's like north and California's south. So I'm like,
well, Boston's like by New York, yeah?
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
No, going off the accent, I'm going to say it's there.
Yeah.
But, so I was like, if one was happened one day and the other one was the same day, there's no way he would get across.
No.
But there is no overlap in the actual dates. So like the Boston Strangler was like very early 1960s, maybe like 1962, 1963.
So how long was that after the war? When did the war end?
1945.
So it'd be like a good 20 years or so.
So 1945, Joseph would have been 34.
I would think as well, you've just done some atrocities to the world. You're not going to go out straight away. You're going to lay low like 20 years. So exactly. That makes sense.
So he'd been laying low for a bit. Probably, backpacking up to North America.
Yeah.
Took him a bit of time to get there.
Probably about that time.
Yeah, and the Boston Strangler, I think he was a bit perverse. He would like often strangle women. It was all women, I think he killed. And it was with... like he'd take their stockings or some like their own clothing and like strangle them around the neck and kind of like lay them out in a certain way.
What certain way do you know?
He just kind of, he would like set the scene a bit, like, and so all of these crimes, I'm pretty sure they found someone for them. Actually, no, I don't think Zodiac Killer they did, but with Boston Strangler, someone was arrested for it, but that like there was no real evidence.
Was he charged?
Yeah, he was charged, and I think he went to prison. I think he escaped and then went back to prison, but he admitted to them, but then there was loads of stuff where it was like, it didn't, like, why? Like, that doesn't add up. Like, nowadays, it probably wouldn't have passed. Like, there was one thing where it did link him, but, like, the rest of them, I don't know, a lot of these people, like, come forward and, like, are mental and, like, say they're the killer, or they think that there was, like, some other guy he was colluding with, so he kind of came forward and said he was the killer to take the time off this other guy.
Oh,
Or
okay.
something like that. But like, it wasn't a sure thing.
No.
But like, there wasn't like evidence 100% that's the killer.
Yeah.
So it could have been or Joseph.
I mean, I'm getting sold.
Yeah. Okay, Zodiac killer, 1960s to 1970s. So Joseph is like 60 to 70.
Oh, wow, okay.
No, he would have been 50 to 60
50,
at this
60.
time. Still, if he's kept
Totally
himself healthy.
plausible, yeah.
He's a doctor. He knows how to keep himself fit.
Yeah.
He did a lot of walking up to North America. A lot of swimming, it seemed, as well, like from his drowning.
From his drowning experience.
So that was in North California. And Zodiac Killer was like, used to send the newspaper a load of these codes. And he was like, he played off the media a lot. And he'd send these like little encrypted codes and like someone had to solve them and he'd make them, he'd be like, oh, publish this or I'm going to kill someone else.
Oh my God.
He was like prolific for a while. And his were like, he'd wear this little outfit. I think it would be like a little hat and glasses and like some kind of tunic thing.
A tunic?
Like with a cross on it.
What, and, as the murderer? Like,
yeah, when he went to kill people. And one person actually survived his...
so that's how they know?
Yeah, well, like what he was wearing. But he would just go and like, a lot of the time would be like shooting people just when they're in the wrong place, the wrong time, like somewhere a bit remote. He'd just come up and like...
What, like a public toilet somewhere or something like that?
Yeah, I think some people were out like for a picnic. I think a couple was like down by some lake and he just kind of came out and shot them. And I think there was even something where like he was interviewed by the police like on his way out of a crime scene, but they still didn't realize like it was him.
Really?
But
I love stuff like this.
That was kind of, he was more like late 60s.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it could
Joseph got sick of Boston.
Yeah.
It's like,
want some sun.
I need some North Carolina. I keep wanting to say Carolina. North California sun. Goes over there. Starts coming. There was a few early ones, but there's 5 confirmed Zodiac killer like deaths, but then there's apparently 20 to 28 possible, and then the Zodiac killer claimed he'd killed like 37 people.
Okay.
Because he was more like, he wanted to be this...
His aim was to be the most mysterious, like, biggest murderer ever.
And I'm like, that could fit in with the doctor who was, coming up with all these messed up ways of like torturing and experimenting, and obviously part of this big, very imposing political movement.
Yeah.
He's got something to say.
Yeah, he does, for sure.
Now, where the plot goes downhill was the anthrax
90s
attacks.
I mean, he was old. Yeah. He was in a wheelchair somewhere.
If we believe he drowned in 1979, then that makes it impossible. He could have been Boston and Zodiac.
Yeah.
But I'm still...
Where was the anthrax? Amsterdam.
The anthrax... I don't know, it was all over a bit. I think he was sending letters to like different places and different people. And then I thought as well, Zodiac liked to send letters.
Oh, really?
Because Zodiac Killer would send all these letters to the newspaper press. And the press.
Yeah.
So the Anthrax Killer was also sending letters.
Yeah.
So we know he likes to.
So it would make sense letters. That he started off like, okay, I'm going to be this Boston Strangler. And then he got into the letter thing with Zodiac and he was like, hell yeah, I like this mystery side to it. And then he was like, I'm going to just stay at home. Yeah, I'm going to chill out and just do the letters.
I can't be running around shooting people. Yeah. I've got to sit back and do it at home. Yeah, and also I kind of think if we know he was in South America and he drowned in 1979, I feel like that could be a cover-up because like people, after the war wanted, justice and they wanted people to be put on trial.
Right. Yeah.
The idea that there was someone running around free.
And killing more people.
So I'm thinking...
Well, they didn't know that at that point, yeah.
But I'm thinking they probably, whether he died or not, I feel like, the press or the government would want people to think...
Yeah, that was like, being justice served.
Oh, yeah, he's dead now, so we don't have to worry about him. Because if they were struggling to find him and, call him up for trial, they could just be like, yeah.
I suppose for that, because they would have been looking. If they knew he was alive, they would have been trying to find him. Yeah, so I'm like,
how do we know he was there? And yet he wasn't... getting put in prison and stuff like that. So I think that's a bit like dodgy, like a bit convenient of him to die in 79. So I'm going to say that he is. There's 3 murderers.
I'm so sold.
Are you actually?
I actually am. Like, I thought I wasn't going to be. I thought it was going to be a more strenuous link, but I see it.
See, I'm not really that sold. Like, I've talked myself into it a little bit today, but realistically, there's some of the claimed kills. Like, there's one that was from the Zodiac Killer in June 1963, and then there was kills in like March and May 63 from the Boston Strangler.
Yeah.
So at that time, he would have been having to travel. So,
he maybe had some minions.
Yeah, he might have had other people doing them.
I mean, realistically, probably it isn't, but I think it's
plausible.
It's plausible.
Can't say no.
No, we can't disprove it.
I don't think they found someone from the Zodiac. I'm not sure. Some people came forward and they were like, I found this mask in my dad's house, like my dad's bedroom. I think he's the killer. Oh my God,
seriously?
Yeah, like some people did.
Imagine finding that in your dad's.
But then they think, oh, is this just for press? It's just like Americans trying to get.
Why would you try and do that with your dad?
Like he didn't like his dad or his stepdad or something. But it's all very.
Yeah.
I think they did get someone for anthrax. But do we know it's really him?
I don't know.
No one saw. It was all letters. But yeah, so I don't. I'm not convinced, but
I just love when things like that. I mean, obviously it's a terrible story. I don't love the story, but I mean, like when something all could be a mystery and like all coincide like that, I want it to almost be true.
I don't think a man like the Angel of Death would go and then just live a nice, happy life. I think
that's the
he
thing.
At least had to kill some people in South America, surely.
Yeah, maybe he's not those people. But he's
because it does feel like you could just be like, 3 random killers in England. And we'll just pretend that we'll say Fred West and Jack the Ripper, all the same guy.
Exactly. You could just be like
just 300 years apart. But I think I've got you more convinced than I expected to.
I think I'm more convinced than you are, surprisingly.
Yeah. Because I started looking into it like, this is going to be really cool. There's going to be loads of real good evidence on it. And there just wasn't. It was like one person come up with this conspiracy theory. And then so I just had to like look into them myself and like try and piece it together. But it takes a lot of leaps.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, Occam's razor, they're 3 different guys. 4 different guys.
Yeah, that is true. It takes a lot more. What was it? It lands on... requires fewer assumptions to say that it wasn't all of them. But I want it to be all of them.
Yeah, also it's kind of nicer to think it was just one man was really horrible than there's like 4 really mentally deranged men. It's all women, but all women.
Yeah, it seems kind of like the hands of a man.
Yeah. I don't know why, it's always men, isn't it?
I know, it is. It's strange.
Like serial killers.
Yeah, or like the only real women are like Fred West's wife,
Rose,
that have been like,
or there's that one that Charlize Theron played her in a film, the one that was like, but she was a prostitute and she was killing the guys that like were trying to pick her up and like attack her and stuff. What's her name? Eileen something.
Eileen, I recognize that.
And she has a surname that's kind of strange, but that's the other. Yeah, they're a lot less common.
Yeah,
basically, like you always get these like men.
Exciting,
interesting.
Yeah.
You got anything else to add?
I just think I think we're probably on the same page with this one as well, with like, it's convincing. There is like convincing evidence and I like to believe it, but it probably isn't true.
Yes.
Yeah. A gentleman's agreement.
I will agree with this.
Yeah. I have one little thing that I think you'll like.
Okay, is this another conspiracy?
Yeah, it's another conspiracy.
I'm like, save some for future reference.
I know, but it's just because I got like so
into it, and you start seeing one. Yeah,
and like also I felt like each one was quite vague. Like yours was a very in-depth one, whereas mine have been like more vague.
Mine was great.
But mine is to do with 11/11.
Is this the thing where people see it? Because I see 11/11 quite often.
Same, I'm obsessed.
I also see 23/11 as well.
Really, do you?
Which is 11/11. The other clock.
And yeah, because you would think people say, 11/11 is it's because of 11111. But if you see it on a clock, which I do, and if you see it as a 23/11, it's not that it's just because it's 1111 that it's got your attention. So yeah, it's about a bunch of people who say they see it more often than what can be explained by chance or coincidence.
Yeah.
And it's kind of related to the concept of synchronicity. and it's seen as an auspicious sign, is what I could get off the internet about it. There's like theories, nice theories, where it's like it's a time you should make a wish, or a window is opening in your life.
I've definitely seen you make a wish at 11:11.
I know. I like the nice theories. It's like something significant is happening in that moment and you should pay attention, or you should simply stop and recognize the significance of the moment. It is like a friendly sign from your soul or the universe that everything is in an alignment and you're exactly where you should be. So that's all the nice theories. But then there's another theory that it's a glitch in the matrix. And it's like the spirit world or a higher power like communicating with us. And I didn't get really in depth into searching it, but I just found this bit.
Is that because you got scared?
No, I was watching like all these YouTube videos about it, and I was just like, wait, what am I doing? I've been here for like 2 hours. Like, I was like, I'm getting too like involved. But there's this guy, Rick Clay, and I listened to an interview with him, and he's very into the 11:11 theory. And he just talks about how 11 is a very prominent number in our world's kind of history. And he said that so I just want to give you some dates because I found it kind of interesting, but that's
I was about to say, like, do you have examples?
Yeah. So like the 11th of August 1999 at 11:11 a.m. there was a total solar eclipse through Europe. And then on December the 21st 2012, end date of main calendar at 11:11 a.m. it was the winter solstice.
Solace.
A solace. Solstice.
That's what they call it in Russia. Solstice.
And if you times 11:11 by 11:11, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, a pyramid. And if you keep doing it like binary, like 11 stands for 3, so you have a trinity. So if you keep doing that like 11, 11, 11, 11 times 11, 11, 11, 11, you'll get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So it always make a triangle. Which again, Illuminati.
Triangle.
And then recent events, 9/11. It was 9/11 2001. Building was stood like an 11.
That's true.
Yeah, 9/11, 9 plus 1 plus 1, 11.
Oh.
9/11 was 111 days before the end of the year. The first plane that hit the Trade Center was Flight 11.
Oh, the plot thickens.
I know. The total number of crew was 11. New York, 11th state of New York Constitution. And then at September the 11th, 1990, 11 years prior to 9/11, George H.W. Bush made his very first speech entitled New World Order at the UN. And then on September the 11th, 1941, 60 years before the attacks, the soil was broken for the Pentagon.
What do you mean, like that was the first dig into the Pentagon?
Which was wasn't that attacked also in 9/11?
Yeah. And one of the other planes went for that, didn't they?
Yeah. And then in 1981, the birth of Christ was recalculated to be some sort of 11 thing. I stopped writing at that point. So that was
the 11th.
Like, as far as I got.
Because apparently he wasn't actually born on the 25th of December. It was probably like April, I thought.
Yeah, it was like some recalculation.
I mean, like that, it starts to get spooky, but then it all kind of went into just being about 9/11.
Exactly. That was all it was I could do was 9/11, and then I was meant to do
But then
more
I'm like, if you look for a number, I think you find it. Because like, I remember when we were at uni, like one of our friends was like, oh, there's the number 27. There's a conspiracy theory about it. Like it pops up everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And ever since he said that, we'd all see it.
Yeah.
But like before that, you wouldn't. Like I always see 11, and I've thought that before. But like once you hear the 27,
you know about it,
it comes up a lot.
Really,
and you notice it.
So it is just you looking for it, like confirmation bias.
You could say like, oh, 9. And if we wanted to, like for the 9 of the 9/11, we looked into that, you'd probably be like, oh, there was 9 attackers or there was 9 people not killed on
That's
this
so true.
floor. You could find like somewhere. But I do feel like those were quite like the big numbers, like the flight numbers, the dates, the like number of people and stuff like that. It's like, ooh.
It's like, I don't think, it just feels like, I'm sure there's like loads more. I like stopped. Like the video I was listening to was like 40 minutes long and I only listened to like 10 minutes of it. But yeah, like I agree with what you're saying. It's like when you're looking for something, but it seems like
there's almost too many.
Yeah.
And the fact that the buildings look like an 11, that was like, oh.
Yeah, that really freaked me out as well when I saw that one. But yeah, that's my last one, and I wish maybe I'll go into depth on that on another episode.
Yeah, I feel like that could be explored more.
Yeah,
but
that could be
you've really outdone yourself with the conspiracy theories.
But I feel like they're all very like vague. Like yours was like a really good in-depth one.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but
you're so sweet.
I feel like we've agreed totally on the conspiracies.
Yeah, definitely, because like none of us had a very strong feeling towards either of them anyway. But like, I think generally I've been like, oh, that could be.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas like the Thursdayism, I'm throwing that one out. Didn't agree with that.
I didn't agree with that. And Max Spear's like, it's just a bit weird.
Yeah, it wasn't really anything to agree on.
No.
That one, it was more just like, that was weird.
Yeah.
Strange circumstances around that one.
Exactly.
But yeah, well, thank you for listening to the first.
Yeah, you've made it through our
first episode. Apologies if we ran it too much. And
it's our first go, guys.
Yeah.
Give us a break.
And I hope you go and watch the films that we spoke about now, because it'll probably make more sense if you've seen them.
Yeah, definitely. Especially Mother, because I feel like we were just...
Yeah, very specifically talking about strange bits. But...
quotes and stuff, yeah.
But anyway, thank you, and I hope to have you listening again sometime soon.
This has been a gentleman's agreement.
Huzzah!